Hi, everybody. DJ Yokley with you for another episode of Coach's Corner here for McDonald Basketball, joined as always by James Franceschelli, the head coach of the boys basketball team. And today's episode brought to you by one of the greatest people I know, my friend Jody Zajac over at Real Living Bankers Realty Group. Huge supporter of McDonald basketball and now a huge supporter of YSN. So special thanks to Jody. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, make sure you give her a call, 330-219-1733. Your new home story begins with Jody Zajac. Coach, on to you. First off, the support in McDonald. You guys are off to a unbelievable 5-0 start, but the support you've had in Devil Country has been unbelievable. Talk to me about the response, how it's been for you. Has it been overwhelming? How has it been for you and your family?
First off, Jody and her family and that, they're big supporters of us. And glad to see that up there. Can't thank her enough and what all they do for us. It's been unbelievable, DJ. It really has. The support we've gotten from our community, even people outside of our community that are big fans of McDonald basketball, it's been huge for us. We've been able to do stuff that we didn't know we were going to be able to do, starting with tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon, actually going to Cleveland, playing at the Cavs arena. It's going to be awesome and a great experience for our guys. People that have chipped in to help, starting with our administration to our parents, to our community. It's been unbelievable. And I wish and hope soon here our fans will get to see us more. But if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I mean, there's nothing we can do. And with what you're doing for us at YSN and providing these guys an opportunity to see us play every night we can't thank you guys enough. I know our community appreciates it so much, and so do our players and families. It's been an unbelievable start to the season.
It has been, and you look at 5-0, and a lot of people will look at your record and say you're unblemished, but that doesn't mean, Coach, that you've been untested. You've played some good opponents early on in this season. Talk to me about your expectations for your team, naturally, just getting out with wins, but what is there to work on? What do you see on tape that your team can do a little bit better to make that next step?
Well, one of the things we tell our guys is staying focused. We're in a whirlwind here. I mean, we've played a ton of games in a row, and we got 2 more this weekend. And then we come up with Springfield on Tuesday, which is a huge game for us. And it's been, every time I watch film, and I'm a big film guy, people know that. So there's a lot of things we can work on. We really can. We've turned it over too many times. Defensively, we haven't been great in some games. The one thing that we've been consistent of is we've had some different guys step up in almost every game. Points-wise, Jake Portley's averaging 22 points, 12 rebounds. Miles Kolb averaging 19 points and 8 assists a game. Those are huge numbers for us. But our most consistent guys have been some of our other guys. Dominic Carquito. I mean, Dom's averaging 9 points and 11 rebounds. Who else do we got there? Eli Street. I mean, Eli, I don't even know where to begin with him. He is our motor, and on top of that, he's been scoring the basketball. He hit 5 threes again the other night. Then we have Anthony Ragazzi, Gregory Constantino, a sophomore. He's coming in. I think he's literally like 14 of 20 from the 3 on the year as a sophomore. So, and one thing that we've learned with those guys, Dominic Shadle, Caden Crown, they've just been so good for us off the bench. Those guys were a little bit unexperienced. We didn't know what we were going to get. So they've kind of gave us that lift. Against Bristol, first off, we know Bristol's program and the way they play, and Coach Geezy over there does an unbelievable job. But, we were struggling for a while there in that game. And Dominic Shadle went in and really created some stuff for us, got us a couple easy baskets. Now, a lot of people are going to look and say Jake had 42 points, 16 rebounds.
Right.
I mean, he had a great game, one of the better games that I've ever been around. But these other guys have picked up in moments that we've needed them.
Well, let's talk about Jake Porterlees for a minute. The Snake, got a chance to watch him at the Salem game, and I mean, I kept calling him Dirk Nowitzki. The kid can do it inside, he can do it outside. What does that do to your coaching strategy when you can take your big man outside in the perimeter and just let him rip it?
Well, and one of the biggest things, DJ, when we bring him out is it opens so much up for everybody else because he needs to be guarded out there. But I mean, he hasn't shot it great yet. Really.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he hasn't. His percentages aren't great from the three yet. But one thing we've stressed with all these guys is we know we can shoot it. We got to continue to shoot it, and they'll start to fall. I think we're averaging around 11 3-pointers a game. So, we don't take a lot of 15-footers. We really don't. It's not our style. We want a layup or a three, and that's how we play.
I love it because back in the day of my college career, I announced the Westminster Titans, and Larry Ondako loved the three ball. So watching you on the floor and watching your team resembles that Titan team because it's just run and gun it. I mean, the Craig Hannons of the world, who's now the Girard coach, he was part of that offense. So it's fun for me to watch, probably my most enjoyable basketball to be part of. But that being said, there's going to be a lot of critics, as there were 10, 15 years ago. If you're going to live by the three, you can also die by the three. What do you say to the critics that say that about the three ball and the perimeter shooting?
I actually had a conversation this morning with some people about this, and for 3 feet farther back from a 15-footer, we're getting an extra point every time we make one. We're not very good percentage-wise from 15 feet. We're just not. That's not us. So, yes, there's going to be a game where we struggle from the three. We know that. But I think a struggle for us might be we're just going to have to take more attempts to get those makes. Our guys, I mean, we stress shooting. We do a ton of shooting at practice. We do a ton of up and down stuff. Just trying to get to the level of being in shape to shoot those shots in the fourth quarter is the big thing for us.
Yeah, I think from our standpoint, it's a fun brand of basketball to watch. I catch myself watching your games more than most just because, first off, the relationship we have, but secondly, I mean, who doesn't want to see three balls left and right? I mean, dunks are one thing, but for a guy that's 5'5", three balls is kind of my thing, if you can get an extra point for it. All right, you alluded to the game tomorrow at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, a very special moment, not only for you, but for this team. How did you get there? And talk to me about the expectations and kind of the feeling going into that to play on a professional basketball floor.
Yeah, first off, I owe a ton to one of my buddies, JJ Kakura. Great player, played at Alliance for his dad, went on and played 4 years in Mount Union. Literally one of the best high school players I've ever seen play. He did so much to make this happen for us. And I got to be honest, it's been a ton of work. We've had to make sure every guy has a ticket individually to get in with COVID, take a survey, all this, make sure. We've had a hiccup with our cheerleaders coming. We've had to fix that. It's been a whirlwind, and then playing 3 games this week leading up to that has made it even a little tougher. But one thing we wanted was our guys to be able to experience something special in a time where there's not a lot of great things going on out there. So it's worked out, and we're excited to get up there tomorrow. We're going to get up there a little early and enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? And then, but come 3 o'clock game time, we're there to win the game. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We were supposed to play Louisville. Something had come up on their end. I don't know if they had to make up a league game, whatever it was. So Niles was kindly enough, Coach Foster, to play us and make it work within this week. So we appreciate what they did. It's going to be awesome. It really is. To be on that floor, I know this. My son he may not sleep tonight. He's so excited, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for the guys and see their reactions. I've done a lot with JJ being there with the Cavs. I've been in a lot of stuff and behind the scenes and all that, and he treats my family like we're family. He really does. So I just want to see these guys and when you walk in there and you see those seats and where LeBron stepped on that court and where the Cavs are playing good right now, 5-4. I mean, Bickerstaff is doing a great job getting those guys ready to play. I know he's been in a little bit of trouble recently, but in our household, we're a huge family of Kevin Porter Jr. We've built a relationship through JJ with him. So it's been a lot of work, but we're ready. And now we'll take care of, get down to Sebring tonight, get up in the morning, go to Cleveland. It's going to be a long 48 hours here, but it's something that as a head coach, and my wife and family have been so huge in helping me get everything organized here. It's something that you really want these guys and our cheerleaders to. They haven't been able to go to any away games this year.
Right.
So it's going to be an experience, and we can't wait to get there.
From a standpoint of where we're from, I mean, it's two YSN teams doing battle in Cleveland, and it's going to be a big weekend in Cleveland. Obviously, already started. There's a lot of people frustrated about Francisco Lindor and Cookie Carrasco, and you've got the Steelers-Browns game on Sunday night, but you guys are sandwiched right there in the middle, so people are going to be able to watch some McDonald and Niles basketball. But tonight, though, you have a very challenging opponent, Sebring. There's never not a challenging moment in the MVAC. When you think about the next 48 hours, two very different basketball teams that you're going to have to morph around and come away with victories. Obviously, the ultimate goal. What's the biggest challenge for you as a coach? I know you're a tape junkie, but, I mean, how much tape have you watched this week? It has to be an incredible amount.
Oh, I can't even begin to tell you. And listen, I owe a world of credit to my assistants, too. These guys put in so much time for me. And they're sending me stuff all day about film they're watching, and I'm seeing the same stuff. To be honest, I've probably watched 10 hours already in the last 2 days. We got Sebring, Niles, and then right away we're back to Springfield. So it's been it's crazy amount of time spending just being prepared. The one message we've got to our guys is tonight is so important to us. It's a league game. We're on the road. Brian Clark everybody knows Brian's teams are always prepared.
Right.
He does a great job. And we just got to get there and be ready to play. It's not an easy moment. We got a 45-minute bus ride. Then we come back tonight. We're back on the bus again tomorrow for an hour and a half. It's not easy. But one thing we've told our guys is mentally stay tough and prepared for every moment.
And I guess that's coach talk, right? Stay mentally tough. But when you talk it and it's executed, that's two different things. Everybody can go in and say, listen, we need you to be mentally tough. But not everybody understands what that means. That means getting your 8 hours of rest, getting your work done ahead of time so you're not concerned about a final or a test coming up virtually. But from your standpoint, when you tell your coaches, your players, mentally tough, what are some aspects that you're speaking to?
Especially in this time, the times we're in right now, we talk about every day staying healthy, watch who you're around. If you're around someone you haven't been, make sure you're wearing your mask. Be responsible. The last thing we need right now is a shutdown for any amount of time. We just can't afford it because we've already had one. So mentally just, like you said, getting that amount of sleep. Are you watching your film on your own? We don't ask our guys to dissect film. All we want to do is watch a little bit, know a little bit about the team, and know what's going on, who's the shooters are, that kind of stuff. We'll take care of the rest of it. Just having that mindset. We go, when we get on the bus tonight, we don't talk. There is no talking on the bus. You're prepared, your headphones are on. We're thinking about Sebring. We have one goal in mind, 1-0 tonight. Get it accomplished, get back on the bus, and let's go.
I think one of the things I'm most excited to talk to you about is your demeanor on the sidelines. You're the kind of coach that I would love to play for because you're constantly fighting for your kids. And I mean that in all the best. There's a difference between fighting the referees and fighting for your kids with the officials. That Salem game got out of hand a little bit with some of the calls that were being made, and you never want to criticize officials. However, you were very impressive in keeping your I guess chill zone down a little bit, but still having your voice heard. Is there a split that you kind of have to watch as a head coach to make sure that your actions don't affect the actions of your team or the end result in a basketball game?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I think I've learned a lot over the years here. When I was at Struthers, I was more emotional. I was at the referees. The one thing I learned with being with Jeff was you pick your moments with those guys. You know what I mean? And you just get in their ear and let them know you see what's going on and you expect a little bit more. But one thing that I've learned and heard from people in the past with me is one thing I do is I fight for my players no matter what. I'm a player's coach. My guys know win or lose, 10 turnovers or 0, whatever it is. I got them. I got their backs. As long as they do what we're asking and they got our backs, we're there for them. And it's different. With referees, you never want to overstep that boundary. I've done that many times, believe me. In my Struthers days, I got some technicals that probably just a few. But listen, I've learned and I respect these guys and what they're doing, the officials. The one thing I even told a guy the other night, there was a bad call and he knew it and I knew it and he admitted to it. He was honest. He said, I missed it. I appreciate that when they could say that. I'm not going to say anything after that.
Yeah.
It's over with at that point. But yeah, like you said, you got to have that demeanor and let your players know that you're going to fight for them, but there's a time and place. One thing we don't like is we don't want our players saying anything to the officials or the other team. We respect everybody we're playing. We really do. And if they do that, any of that, they'll just come sit by us. It's not a big deal. Next guy up mentality.
Love it. All right. I'm a fan of that algorithm that you have between you and your team. I'm also a fan of a young lady in McDonald. We talked about McDonald being a group, a community that supports each other no matter what. Molly Howard last night breaking the 1,000-point threshold. She has been such a great player, a great leader, and a great young lady with high character in McDonald. Can you speak to not only Molly, but the family, the program you have? It's something that it's funny. Girls basketball doesn't always, and girls sports in general, don't always get the bright lights that boys sports do. We're trying to fix that. However, you've been a supporter of girls sports, especially girls basketball, seemingly forever. Talk about what you saw last night with Molly, the relationship between the McDonald basketball family as a whole, and again the support that McDonald has provided for you guys.
Yeah, first off. While we're on here, Coach Matisse, we're wishing him everything.
Yep.
And he's doing better, and he's getting into a good place. And we just can't wait to see him back on the sidelines. But with that said, Coach Kolar, God, man, he is. Listen, in a short amount of time here, I've had an unbelievable relationship with him. I consider him a good friend, knowing him 2 months, 3 months. What he's done and what he's been able to do. We talked about going into this game. I made a comment to him that going into the Western Reserve game, you're in a lose-lose situation as the coach. You know what I mean? If you win, you were supposed to win. If you lose, it's because Tony wasn't there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So for them to get that lead last night in the third quarter and hold them off in the fourth, listen, they don't got their legs yet. They really don't. You can see that.
Yeah.
But the job they're doing, we are the biggest supporters, our staff, our players, of McDonald girls basketball. We love it. So back to Molly, I've had the chance to witness her career. It's been remarkable. Her parents, great people, big supporters of McDonald boys basketball as well. She is literally, I don't know, it's hard to say. I've seen a lot of girls basketball players, but she's as good, if not better, than anybody I've been around. And to watch her at practice and her work the way she works, and it's been great. And it's been great for our guys to see the work that somebody like a Zach Brazil that played for us, what he's done, and what she's done. And I've had a chance to work with her family in that, as far as I knew Coach McConnell at IUP, so I kind of had a little bit, I was able to piece that together there a little bit and help out. Not that I was the person that did it, believe me. That's not what I'm saying.
Sure.
But I was able to bridge that gap and get them introduced. And what he does at IUP and the way she plays is a perfect fit. It really is. And I'm so excited for her family and her and Maddie, her twin sister.
Yeah.
Great player too. I mean, it's just like, but to see her score that 1,000 last night, watching with my family in our house, it was great. And to see her go in the stands, and much respect to Western Reserve and Steve, though, to let them do that and stop the game. A lot of places on the road are iffy about that.
Yep.
That's class by him, and I know he doesn't want to lose to McDonald. I mean, but That's what high school sports are about. And one of the moments I captured last night with Steve, I don't know Steve really well, but Jeff does, and those guys, and they speak highly of him. They really do. But when his player got hurt and he was out on the court with her,
Yep.
that's the bond that people don't understand about coaching. So they don't understand those relationships that you gain and what those players mean to you. To see him out there talking to her, and you don't know what he's saying, that mask is up. But those are the moments, and we appreciate what he did last night for her. And we appreciate the girls' program, believe me. Listen, they're huge supporters of us. They're so upset they can't. But we've worked out something, and we're going to get some of them to Cleveland tomorrow to see us play.
Yeah.
So they're thrilled, and we're thrilled to have them there.
That's awesome. You mentioned Zach Brazil. You mentioned the bond that you have with your players. The last question I'll have for you here today, Coach, on Coach's Corner, brought to you by Jody Zajac, Real Living Brokers Realty Group. Give her a call today, 330-219-1733. Last question I have for you about those relationships, about those bonds. You had a chance to watch Zach play last night as well on the internet over at West Lib. When you see players that you've helped develop these relationships and these bonds with them, you see them doing what they love at the next level, what do you feel on the inside? Like, is it the warm and fuzzy? Do you still get nervous for that player when you see Zach with the basketball? What goes through your mind and through your heart?
Oh, I mean, you're emotional for those guys. You really are. To see Zach, what he's gone through to get to that point, and to be playing for a top 10 country, a team in the country, and playing major minutes. I think he played 18 minutes last night, 9 points. I mean,
9 points, yep.
And I texted Zach throughout the day prior to yesterday. And listen, one thing about Zach is he's a quiet, humble kid. But after every one of our games, I get a text from him. Coach, congratulations, keep it going. Every single time. That's the kind of person he is and the relationship we have. And I was never his head coach. But just that relationship we've built. And listen, Zach is going to succeed. There is no doubt in life. He's going to. That's the kind of person he is. But to see that moment last night in the second half where he had a stretch, he had 6 points in a row, an assist, a steal. I mean, me and my son are screaming at the TV. We're so excited. And then, text messages. I'm in a group message with Jeff, and I'm in a group message with our superintendent and stuff like that. And we're all watching the game and going back and forth. It's special to see guys go on. And we got a couple guys being recruited right now. That process, I've been there with other guys. The other guy I get to watch all the time, and I'll throw out there right now, and I couldn't be more proud, is Carson Ryan that played for me at Struthers.
Yep.
Playing down at YSU. I mean, he scored 5 points the other night. And there's a lot of haters out there, and we all know that in your business and mine. And he gets that too. But he shouldn't be playing. The bottom line is the kid works his butt off. And you listen to Coach Calhoun, he's going to play eventually if he continues to do what he's doing. Those moments make me so proud, and I can't wait to be able to go down there and see him play and get to Zach. But until then, we'll watch every game. We'll stream them all. Whatever we got to do to watch those guys.
I love it. What a coach. If you don't want to play for this guy, then I don't want to know you. So, Coach Franceschelli, I appreciate you. Jimmy, good luck not only tonight against Sebring, but into tomorrow in the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. We'll be rooting for you, man. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.
I appreciate it. Thanks.